Today's tutorial doesn't need much of an explanation. I just want to show you how you could use crochet triangles for many things, and it's enough if you just watch. So in the German version of this video, I decided to read of a book of a friend, and so I was looking around what I could read to you in the English version, and I found the book Knit One, Kill Two, A Knitting Mystery by Maggie Sefton. And I have to admit I did not ask for a permission if I'm allowed to read out of the book, but I'm pretty hopeful that I will be allowed, and I will ask immediately now. So the specialty of this book is that it's beside the knitting mystery, it contains delicious recipes and knitting patterns throughout the book. So it's really great for knitters like us. I'm going to start with acknowledgements that Maggie Sefton gave, and I will read one chapter of Knit One, Kill Two. Acknowledgements. 1,000 thanks to Shirley Ellsworth, the inspired owner of Lamb Spun of Colorado in Fort Collins, Colorado, the knitting shop I used as a model for this series, and the place I first fell down the rabbit hole into this fascinating wonderland of color and texture. Shirley and her staff of gifted teachers and fiber artists never ran out of patience with my questions or encouragement for my beginning efforts. Thanks also to the Tuesday night knitting group for their rowdy and wonderful brainstorming of titles for this series of novels. And special thanks to Christy for her last-minute artwork. Thanks also to my agent Jessica Faust for her unceasing encouragement and support to write this knitting mystery. And special thanks to my wonderful editor Samantha Mandor for helping to bring Kelly and all her friends to life on the page. Special thanks to my 4 daughters, my mom, and all my dear friends who've always believed in me and supported my writing dreams. And thanks to my 92-year-old Aunt Anne, whose quilt of memories hangs on my bedroom wall. And a special pat on the head to my dog Carl, who's the model for Kelly's golf ball chasing pet, Rottweiler. I must admit that fictional Carl is much better behaved than real-life Carl, with or without golf balls. Kelly Flynn nosed her car onto the gravel driveway and pulled to a stop in front of the familiar little house perched beside a golf course. Everything looked the same. Aunt Helen's beige stucco, red tile-roofed cottage looked as cozy and inviting as always. Golfers were scattered about the lush greens, doggedly working to improve their games. In the background, the Colorado Rocky Mountains, still snow-capped in late spring, loomed over the entire scene. It was all picture postcard pretty, just like Kelly remembered, except for one thing. Aunt Helen was dead, murdered a week ago in her picturesque cottage. A burglary gone bad, the police called it. Kelly's gut still twisted at the thought. Aunt Helen would have fought back. Kelly knew she would. Even though she was thin as a stick and a foot shorter than Kelly, she was wiry and tough. And she had spirit, spunk. She'd never go down without a fight. Not Aunt Helen. No way. Kelly felt tears rise to her eyes again as she remembered her aunt's favorite admonition. Never give up, Kelly girl. If you want something bad enough, don't you ever give up. The tears escaped, running down Kelly's cheeks, and she swiped them away with the back of her hand. She'd never even had a chance to say goodbye. At least with her dad, Kelly had been able to tell him how much she loved him. Cancer might be an ugly way to die, but it was slower. Murder was a thief in the night, creeping in to steal away valuable loved ones, and this thief stole the only mother Kelly had ever known. A cold, wet nose shoved against Kelly's neck, and she turned to pet the shiny black Rottweiler head resting beside her shoulder. Carl always sensed her moods. "Don't worry, boy, I haven't forgotten you. You're looking at that grass, right?" She pointed to the manicured golf course stretching from her aunt's property all the way to the river that meandered through the scenic college town north of Denver. Kelly let herself gaze. It had been 6 months since she returned to Fort Connor, where she spent her early childhood. Every time she returned, she wondered how she'd ever make herself leave again. The sky was bluer here, the air was cleaner, and the sun was brighter by a mile high to be exact, as Aunt Helen used to say. What a gorgeous day! If her aunt was still alive, she and Kelly would take one of their favorite hikes along a trail in the nearby Powder Canyon. How would it be so beautiful with Helen gone? Carl whined to get her attention, clearly eager to explore. "Okay, boy, but you can't run on the course. The greenskeeper wouldn't appreciate your lifting a leg on every tree." Carl rolled his soft brown eye to her in pleading mode. "Nope, you'll just have to make do with the yard." Kelly opened the car door and slid out, grabbing a leash as she did. Carl's ears perked up at the magic jingle, and he gave an excited yelp. That meant outside and play. Snapping the leash to his red collar, Kelly headed toward the small backyard. Tall cottonwood trees surrounded the property, shading both house and yard. Flower boxes were already planted, even though Kelly knew the frost date in northern Colorado was a yearly gamble. Somehow, Helen always won out. Her green thumb, or gardener's luck, could overcome even Colorado's capricious weather. Kelly made a mental note to water the plants that evening. She wasn't about to let Helen's plant die with her. She swung the back gate open and ushered Carl inside. "It isn't a golf course, boy, but it's bigger than your yard for sure," she said, referring to a postage stamp-sized townhouse yard on the outskirts of Washington, D.C. Carl didn't waste time. He took off the moment his leash was unsnapped, nose to the ground. The sound of another car coming down the gravel driveway caught Kelly's attention, and she turned to see a red minivan drive up to the larger stucco and red tile-roofed house across the drive. A woman exited the van and entered the sprawling mirror image of Helen's cottage. To be continued in the second video. So for this little demonstration, I make small triangles with 3 holes at each side. I usually would make such with 5 holes, but 3 is okay for demonstration purpose. And if you have 6 such triangles, you can join them, and with 6 more you have a beautiful crochet star.